Project Aware is a grant-funded program that helps support schools with behavioral health, mental health, and it allows our students here to receive more support and services. It's important for students at a young age to be aware of mental health and mental health services. It allows them to understand, like, hey, what I'm feeling, it's valid, it's okay, and there's help, there's support out there for me. Usually, if they don't know what's going on, then they find unhealthy ways to cope, and so our goal is to teach them healthy coping skills, and we understand what you're going through, and we're here to support you.
I know one parent in particular said, I'm not sure how to help my student because I'm struggling myself. With these funds, we're able to send out flyers, we're able to have family nights, when you're able to offer resources to families and they're actually implementing them, they're helping not only the one that's struggling, but everybody else.
Now parents are more open, so now I'm seeing them advocating for their child's mental health. So it's like a win-win. And I've noticed that those students who have been referred to mental health have been slowly progressing and academic performance has improved, attendance and their interpersonal skills as well, coping skills and resiliency. So I feel that receiving mental health services does make a positive impact on our students.
So mental health is vitally important for students in their learning environment. If they are struggling with hopelessness, sadness, anxiety, suicidal ideation, they're not going to be engaged in the classroom to do the same learning that maybe some of their peers are able to do. And they deserve that same level of learning.
Part of our goal for our AWARE grant was to reduce stigma about behavioral health or mental health access. And the other part of the grant is for education and information in the community. And we know our families want to do best by their kids, and they're willing to sacrifice in great amounts to be able to put their kids in school.
Our families have a tough time being able to get off to work, to get to those places to access some services. So the one thing that the AWARE grant has done is brought those services here on campus so our students can get the services that they need without having to travel, without having to put that extra burden on the families.
We have this great idea where we're going to create a behavioral health center for our students at WALU. So we were really excited for being able to connect students right here on our campus to behavioral health services.
You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Every region, every district utilizes the grants differently, but they all get the same base level support. So they get that funding stream to create these innovations, to build a systems level design, to make it sustainable.
Back in March, we got what's called a Handle with Care alert, which went to our MTSS team. And so in our building, that is counselors, academic coaches, admin, nurses. So then we were able to take this student's Handle with Care and then plug this student in to supports. Within a really short matter of time, the student's whole outlook changed. We started getting reports back from the teacher that their academics had improved. The counseling team has reported that she's interacting with kids before that she wasn't. She read the morning announcements this morning.
They were able to get supports for this student, and that led to increased attendance, increased engagement in school, a family being more involved, and the crazy academic success in a very short period of time. And that the team at that school particularly felt like, oh my gosh, this is a direct result of us identifying, being able to intervene and provide supports. Coming out of the pandemic, it's certainly recognizable that we needed to have more support systems. And so really when we get to the more serious interventions, we don't have the resources or even the knowledge and awareness of how to intervene. And so partnering and learning about it through the resources through OSPI and others, and as well as getting people in place to provide these is, you can't put a number on that. We're having way more conversations than we've ever had about mental health and supporting students. So I think first and foremost, that's breaking down a lot of barriers. Every student has the right to feel safe and supported, and it's our responsibility as adults to ensure that's happening.
The biggest thing is creating a safe space. What I find is that they want to be involved, but they don't want to be judged or criticized. So I think creating that safe space is to be able to earn their trust. We're parents too, so we want the best for these kids. That could be our kids too, you know.
The sooner they have the skills to cope with whatever issue they're having, whatever mental health issue they're having, the better they can be successful academically and or social emotionally. So I think we're getting better at accepting that there is mental health issues in our schools, and that it's all right for your kids to receive those additional services if they need it.
We see students more often regularly attending within school as their mental and behavioral health is better supported within these spaces. We see slow increases of graduation rates. We see decreases of violence and bullying. All students deserve mental and behavioral health well-being foundationally in a school environment.
The main thing why we're here is because of Project Aware. That is one of how we keep our mental health counselors in the schools. For me, Project Aware is like essential.
This should be in every school. Every school should have this opportunity to have these resources, because once you realize and recognize that you have students that have some serious mental health crises and troubling situations, you have to put resources in, and resources for the families, et cetera. It's just, that wraparound and making sure that we have everything in place is imperative.